Diplomacy is a concept, but it is also a set of skills. Many of these skills we already apply to our everyday lives without realizing it. The U.S. Diplomacy Center at the U.S. Department of State is pioneering an innovative approach to teaching the tools of diplomacy. Its diplomatic simulation program allows high school and university students to step into the shoes of real-life diplomats negotiating solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. This tutorial will show you how to help your students develop a greater understanding of what diplomats do and how they, too, can practice the art of diplomacy. Diplomatic simulations are a proven pedagogical tool for helping students develop global competence and enhance 21st century skills, including creativity and innovation, critical thinking and problem solving, and communication and collaboration. These simulations also provide students with hands-on exposure to how the critical work of American diplomats impacts people's everyday lives. Diplomatic simulations are collaborative learning experiences in which students are assigned to groups or delegations, each with distinct perspectives or points of view. Working in teams, students build rapport with others, present clear arguments, negotiate, find common ground, and compromise to find solutions to issues facing the modern world, such as international migration, climate change, global health, and non-proliferation. You are the facilitator and moderator. You guide the parties as a neutral arbiter, making sure they stay on topic, progress forward towards resolution, and complete each segment in the allotted time. If it appears the parties reach full agreement before the end of the allotted time, you might challenge them to consider the practicalities of implementing their proposed solutions, but make sure not to express your own preferences. These simulations are designed for 15 to 30 participants plus a facilitator. Participants read a hypothetical scenario related to a real-life global issue. Within each simulation, there are 5 to 6 stakeholder groups or delegations, each with different perspectives and priorities. Students role-play these stakeholders in small teams of 3 to 5. Under time constraints, the groups endeavor to negotiate a peaceful solution to the crisis in the scenario. They use the information provided in the simulation packet to develop their delegation's policy positions and defend or modify these positions in real time as negotiations progress. The simulations typically take 2 hours to complete. In order to run a simulation, there are a few things you will need. All students start with the common packet. This packet includes the background, scenario, glossary, stakeholder profiles, tips for negotiating, worksheets, and a map. There are also individual stakeholder fact sheets that only members of that particular delegation should receive. As the facilitator, you will need a clock or watch to keep time and a computer and video projector if you choose to run the introductory PowerPoint presentation as part of the introduction to the simulation. In the simulation packet for teachers, there are also tent cards and name tags. Because there are 5 or 6 delegations, simulations are designed for groups of 20 to 30 students. You can run the simulation with as few as 10 to 15 students, but they all need to be strong players. During the simulation, students flow between formal and informal negotiations, so it's helpful to have a space where they can move around easily. For the formal sessions, seat the students around a big table or arrange the desks in clusters facing each other. The simulation is divided into 5 sessions, plus an introduction and post-simulation discussion. Divide participants into groups and hand out the student materials, tents, and name tags. The introduction to the simulation takes about 15 minutes and is vitally important. It outlines what diplomacy is, the skills associated with diplomacy, what global issue the students will be tackling, how the simulation will run, and what the goal of the activity is. Remind the students that this is not a debate to be won, It is a negotiation aimed at finding a mutually acceptable solution. Emphasize that declaring war or threatening military action are not options. Today, they are going to use the tools of diplomacy. Explain your role and alert the students that you will be discussing the exercise as a group once the simulation is completed. Before students read the materials and prepare their positions, explain how the simulation will be structured and how long each session will last. Explain the difference between formal and informal negotiations. Tell students they should write down proposals that they hear during the discussion and reach agreement within their delegation first before they respond. Before the first formal session begins, have students read the materials, complete the worksheets, and prepare their positions and opening statements. If you have assigned some parts of the simulation in advance, have students share what they have done with the other members of their team as a review. Tell the students that in addition to the possible actions listed, they are welcome to come up with their own creative solutions to help resolve the problem. Ask each stakeholder group to select one individual to deliver that group's opening statement. You should emphasize that once statements are delivered, all students will have a chance to participate, one at a time, in the formal discussion. Remind them, however, that as negotiations progress, delegation members should continue to coordinate their evolving position with the other members of their group. In Session 1, ask each delegation in turn to deliver its opening statement, laying out that stakeholders' view of the situation. This provides everyone with a succinct summary of the other stakeholders' positions. Opening statements should be short, about 60 seconds. You determine the order in which groups will deliver their opening statements. There is no advantage or disadvantage to speaking first or last. After opening statements, open the floor for general discussions. Any member of a group may address the entire room, but all members of that group should agree with what is said. As the moderator, keep the students on topic and focused on clarifying positions and putting forward initial solutions. Stakeholders should listen closely to each other, pose questions directly to each other, and react to proposals. In formal discussions, teams speak one at a time. Keep the teams from interrupting and talking over each other. At the end of the formal negotiations, briefly summarize the current position of each group without giving your own opinion or suggesting other options. In Session 2, stakeholders move away from the table to have private discussions one-on-one or in smaller groups with members of the other delegations. Suggest that students take a moment to strategize within their group about which other teams they want to talk with and what solutions they want to suggest before engaging other stakeholders. Remind them to consider which other groups are already potential allies they can work together with to approach more oppositional groups. Encourage the delegations to maximize their time by sending members to different teams for several discussions at the same time, rather than clustering together in one conversation with only one other stakeholder. In Session 3, invite students back to the table for another 15-minute round of formal discussions. If the students present you with a universally agreed upon solution, challenge them to elaborate on how specifically that solution could be practically implemented. For example, ask who will pay for it? How long will it take to implement? What groups or nations that are not in today's negotiations will have to agree, and how are the delegates going to persuade them? Begin Session 4 by reminding the stakeholders to strategize first among themselves before going to talk with the other delegations. Encourage them to focus on practical elements of their proposed solutions, such as who will pay for it, who will provide the manpower, who will monitor it and ensure it is enforced, how will you get buy-in from neighboring countries. In the final round of formal discussions, focus on resolving areas of continued disagreement. You may or may not want to hold a vote on suggested solutions. You could have students vote as a team, one vote, or individually. Encourage your students to explain what they have learned about diplomacy. Ask them how they might apply the skills they've practiced today, such as critical thinking, collaboration, problem solving, and communicating, to their everyday lives. Ask them open-ended questions like, what was the most challenging part of the simulation? How did your understanding of diplomacy change? Which skills were the easiest or hardest to practice? Ask students why they think it's important to know about the global issue the simulation deals with. Thank you for your interest in our program. The United States Diplomacy Center is a museum and educational center devoted to bringing the story of American diplomacy to life for visitors. The diplomatic simulations are the center's premier educational tool for giving students the skills necessary to excel in an interconnected world.